Well, here we are on Bank Street, and as you can see, it's open to traffic, and traffic's running very nicely on our new road surface. And what have we done? Well, you can see new Ness slab, new granite curbs, a nice sandstone wall and a handrail. The most difficult part of this job was what you can't see, is what's under the ground.
The River Ness Phase 1 flood alleviation scheme has two main defence elements to prevent future city centre flooding. First, the bit you don't see, is the insertion of a sheet pile or concrete pile wall, and second is the building of the reinforced flood wall to a height which protects the city centre from the effect of rapid future rises in river levels. The below ground sheet pile wall is designed to stop river water seeping through the banks and saturating the ground alongside the river.
The project had many challenges, not least working in deep excavations along the side of a river, and what we found under the ground was some unforeseen areas of very silty, sandy material which we had to deal with, and we spent a lot of our resources and technical expertise to come up with a solution that still maintained the programme and thereafter the quality of construction. The floodgate installation has a particular challenge because of the precision mechanisms that are inside the floodgate meant that the blockwork, the concrete, had to be very, very precisely installed so that the sliding mechanism continues to work in all occasions, and more particularly if there was ever a need to use it when there was a flood. On this stretch of road between Greg Street and Huntley Street, there is the St Mary's Church. St Mary's Church, of course, we had to make sure during the construction that we always ensured that funerals and services continued to be taken at St Mary's Church. This area of the work is the junction between Douglas Row, Friars Lane and Bank Street. And this was chosen as the spot for the Bank Street pumping station. And this is where all of the surface water that falls on the roads, go down the gullies and indeed comes through the seepage pipes, is collected and then pumped out into the River Ness. You'll notice at the back of us is the treef curbs. A treef curb is shaped very similar to a motorway barrier that you might have seen, but it's made out of granite, very heavy, very unwielding, and actually a bit off balance when we're trying to lift them. So we have to be incredibly careful when we're installing them in place. The reason that they're here is because of the road alignment. This is a safety measure so that any vehicles that's coming through can't collide with any buildings or indeed the flood wall at this particular section. Douglas Row originally had very narrow footpaths and cars parked on the side of the road. What we've done here is we've made a shared space. One of the key challenges right at the outset was to keep all of the trees between Ness Bridge and Friars Bridge. We had to do as much as we possibly could to maintain the health of the trees. Whilst we were doing the works, that became increasingly difficult, and we had our reservations during the course of the works in this street particularly that any of the trees would survive the works that was happening all around them. I'm pleased to say that all of the trees are now in bloom again, and they have got a covering and they're still alive. At the back of me you could see the Huntley Street pumping station that's just about to be completed, and all the landscaping that is done across the Huntley Street area. The rest of the fencing that you see at the back of me will be completed. We still have some minor snagging to do for the next 2 weeks, and that will be us finished. By the time you see this, Huntley Street will be open all the way from Wells Street to Young Street. This is the last section that we're working on just now. Again, by the time you see this will be completed. We're looking at finishing off all the paving slabs and all the Ness slab right along the footpath section on the property side between Kelt Street and Balnain Street. It was always meant to be the last section in the whole of the job, and as you can see, we're nearing completion here.
We're still working on Phase 2. Phase 2 is obviously downstream of Friars Bridge, and works will carry on there, going into early summer. So we're looking forward to a completion of that. And the next phase for the River Ness is the Artworks project. There was a launch of the Artworks project. I've been involved in some of that, and I think there's some very exciting things coming forward. And certainly the consultation we've done with the public has seen the level of opportunities and excitement there is around those projects. There's major iconic projects like the pier and like the sculptural destination, but there's a project called the Trail. And the Trail is one of those projects that can really evolve and hopefully broaden out. But I think the city is looking to see this as a start of a process rather than the end of a process. And I think we can look forward to some exciting things that will enhance the River Ness and hopefully encourage tourists and locals alike to enjoy it. We'll live with this for a long time, and it's how the job looks that's really important. And I'm very proud, and I'm sure Morgan Sindler are proud of the finished works, and I hope that the rest of Inverness will suitably enjoy it as well.
Right, so this will be the last time I speak to you, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank everybody that's worked on this project through all sorts of different adverse weather conditions, different issues that we've had to deal with. And I'd also like to thank the public for being a bit patient with us. We've tried our utmost to be as accommodating as we can, and I know that hasn't looked the case when we've been shutting roads, but I hope you'll notice the difference and hope that it's all worth it at the end of the day. We can only say thank you for allowing us to build this work in the city, and hope you enjoy it.